I was trying to film that, it was like, you know, a money truck or whatever. I was gonna give you guys a rundown of like, if I was a supervillain, what I would do to blast that truck and take that money. But I'm a good guy, so, you know, great power comes great responsibility, dude. We're not gonna steal money. That's not what we do, you know? Even if we could, you know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing too to think about. Like, Spider-Man could be like one of the craziest villains ever. Even like Miles Morales. Miles Morales would probably be like the world's greatest class freaking thief. Dude, he's got super strength, he can rip through anything, he can go invisible, you can stick on a wall, you never see him, dude. He's got spider sense to let him know if there's like cameras watching him or people watching him. It's so easy to be a villain, but it's so hard to be a hero. And that's like where the respect comes from. No respect for villains, dude, they suck. I mean, don't get me wrong, some cool villains are cool, but I mean, at the same time, they got it easy. Hey, what's going on, guys? Me, Spider Dude, and today we're going to Petland. We got to get Jessica Larry Drew her daily snack, a couple crickets, and yeah, I want to talk to you guys about something cool, so we'll grab the crickets and we can start talking about that. I bet.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
So cute. Try to see if we can find a spot where it's like not so windy. So I wanted to talk to you guys about what is the top 10 best web shooters out on the market, like right now. Not necessarily on the market, but like the top 10 that have been invented and created over the past little while. I think ever since 2012, that's when everyone started like making stuff happen. Around there, I'm pretty sure 2012 was when the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, he, you know, makes the web shooters for the first time. So that's kind of like the first time most people didn't even know that the webs were actually mechanical or could be made. So that idea, I feel like, is what introduced the idea of, whoa, we should make web shooters. So more people started working on them. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just list off a couple of at least my favorite 10 that I've seen, and that are like not necessarily the best per se, but the ones that are like that stand out the most, and for whatever reason to me that I feel like, you know, that they're impacting the game of making web shooters. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, number one, first one I'm gonna go with is definitely my boy, the Amazing's Solenoid web shooter. I feel like the Amazing pretty much kickstarted the game for people to like take an interest in creating functional web shooters. The first time I'd ever seen a small solenoid valve was on his shooters, and after that I started seeing solenoid shooters left and right all over YouTube, just filling up the whole, you know, internet space. And so I gotta give my man like hecka props, because basically he created a design from scratch, one so effective that people fell in love with it and, you know, started replicating the design. So if you ever seen a new like solenoid web shooter come out, you could thank the Amazing, because you know the boy hooked it up. Oh, my crickets! Oh god, no! No! Alright, I got him. Alright, number two, the Human Spider's evaporating web shooters. Now most people just outright copy the Amazing's, you know, solenoid web shooter design. However, the Human Spider is a different story. Not only did he clean up the Amazing's design, making it more compact and professional looking, you know, getting it perfectly down to a science, but the Human Spider is one of the few people to take the idea further. And with the help from a few like web shooter veterans like Spider Device, he's able to develop his own evaporating web shooters, which is pretty dope, shooting what looks like actual spider silk. Something I've never seen done before. Plus, it's the compact and professional looking the way he likes it. You know, it'd be sick if you could just straight up just walk up here and just jump, Spider-Man style. Yeah, that'd be so dope. Oh, there's this lady over here. She's over here watching me. I don't know if she can see me or not, but I was thinking if I could just get up here real fast. Oh yeah, this way's pretty dope. So yeah, all right, number three, JLasers $2 web shooters. So JLasers web shooters are fairly new, apparently costing as little as $2 to make, which for a hero on a budget, you really can't beat that. This design is based off of his various flamethrowers he's made this year, converting cheap lighters into pressurized canisters for whatever he wants. These DIY shooters are functional, cheap, and are surprisingly compact. Number four, gunpowder web shooters. Now number four, I'm low-key including the entire channel, because it's my list and pretty much I can. So yeah, Brainion and I have shared a similarity in that if it functions the way it's meant to, it doesn't matter what it is or made of. I'm just saying, for me, I want to achieve the feat, not necessarily alter the science itself to perfectly mimic the comics. So for Brainion, even though his grappling web shooters are a more practical approach, he understands the idea of pushing science forward through experimenting, trying different things and seeing what works and what doesn't. He's taken on the challenge of creating web fluids that change from liquids to solids, projectiles, you know, grappling web shooters, testing different ways to shoot them, and doing things like loading gunpowder to potentially explode on his wrist. dude's freaking crazy. But it's because of people like him that we'll actually see web shooters sooner than later. Alright, number 5, electromagnetic web shooters. Alright, so Laser Gadgets came up with this unique design utilizing electromagnetism to power what is called a coil gun, charging and launching a projectile with a cable attached. Then he built a motor to reel in the line. For me, the idea was definitely outside the box, and I respect Laser Gadgets for that. He's made a ton of cool things. My only gripe with it was that the motor to reel in the line was a little bit too big, and you can kind of tell he was, trying to hide it a bit with the camera angle. So a little deceitful there, but it's cool. But again, it's not like we can't use our imaginations to picture his device using a smaller motor. I got a friend who already has you covered. Bring it over to number 6, my boy Spider Kid. Now, he's sick. He's one of the most driven heroes out there. Mentored by people like the Amazing and the Spectacular, and he picked up what they had to teach him very quickly and made it his own, which is definitely Peter Parker-esque in my opinion. And he made a retractable web shooter. It doesn't necessarily shoot, but the motor inside of it is a lot smaller, at least from what I could see, than Laser Gadgets. And it's compact in a little compartment that I think is pretty dope. And he came with it all by himself. Little dude. That's what's up. Alright, number 7, we're gonna start picking it up. Number 7, I would give it to Sufficiently Advanced. Because the dude is actually it's not necessarily is he making a web shooter that we haven't seen before. He suggested that the web shooter that he's trying to build will look something along the lines of Colin Fleurs' Assassin's Creed grappling hook gun. But the method in which he is trying to approach is how to be able to swing with it like Spider-Man. So he's devising a way which he's made basically a lightweight exoskeleton to support his weight on his hips. If you ever seen Attack on Titan, how they have their entire harness suit, their ODM gear distributes all the forces throughout their entire body instead of just like on their hand and on their wrists where they're actually swinging off it like Spider-Man. Because humans don't have that kind of strength. That's one of the things you have to take into account when wanting to become Spider-Man, is that if you want to swing like Spider-Man, you gotta have immense strength or figure out some way to overcome that, because humans, as we are, we don't have that kind of crazy strength. Most of us ain't Captain America, so Alan from Sufficiently Advanced is actually working on a web harness and figuring out a way to, combat that problem. See, another, design or direction that is being tackled. We gotta tackle different aspects of the web shooter and then bring it all together. Alright, so number 8. Now this one I'm not exactly sure who made it, link in the description. But basically this is a more practical way I've always thought about web shooters. Most people want their web shooters to be, compact exactly on their wrist, which is dope. They want wrist mounted web shooters, but for me, I just want to, if I'm going to be out in the field, I would have this ready, and I don't want to be limited to like maybe 2 or 3 shots. I would want to have like a consistent basis of shots. It's actually small enough to fit, pretty much on your forearm and shoot a substantial amount of whatever it is that you want to shoot. Web fluid, pepper spray, mace, whatever it is that you want to shoot. So I think that's a really practical idea, and that's probably the one I would use the most. Out of all these ones, I would probably use this method. And even take it a step further. I'm telling you, I would get a backpack. Like, I would be lighting people up. But that's just me. So we got number 9, another grapple web shooter. This one I give it to XYZ Pro because legit dude seems pretty cool. And I like how he, just came up with it, was able to just make it. He wanted it, and then therefore he made it. So it was kind of, cheap and easy, but effective. And definitely shot farther than some of the ones I've seen people try to make that don't shoot far at all. So gotta give him props for that. That's what's up. And number 10, my web. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna put myself on the list. Number 10 is basically gonna be another channel, just like I did with Brainion, but specifically it is the Amazing's latest web shooters. Now his are pretty dope. To me, that's like the practicality of what you guys want practicality. It somewhere lies within his build, and that's just my personal opinion. To his point where it's like almost like a gauntlet. A gauntlet that's kind of like if you've seen Iron Spider's gauntlets that Iron Man makes in his suits. Something along those lines that's gonna house a bunch of different various abilities that replicate Spider-Man's web shooters and things that Spider-Man does with his web shooters. I'm talking dual sets of gauntlets that you would wear in the field to achieve effects that Spider-Man, or feats even, that Spider-Man does. And so he's on the right track as per usual. The Amazing, I don't know where he's at. I know he's been doing a lot of actual like crime fighting stuff and some pretty dope stuff. I respect the guy. He, like me, I like to be out there in the public so people can, you know, be inspired and take arms and, you know, pushing this universe forward. Whereas the Amazing is more, he's low-key, trying to be low-key about it. He wants to keep his identity on the low, and yeah, so I don't know what he's doing right now exactly, but I gotta say that, like, if anyone is leading in charge, I would definitely say it was the Amazing at some point, and I'm impressed with everything he's done so far, and I just want to just honor him and thank him, and by putting him on my list twice. But the dude's legit. He's come up with some pretty cool things over the years, and he's one of the first people to do it. So respect to the Amazing, respect to everybody on this list, everyone on this list, Brainion and everyone else I didn't mention. You guys, you know, it's because of you guys that actually take the initial step to actually make something happen, make the things that you want come true, like manifest. It's really impressive. So never give up. Try the gunpowder, like see what works. Just try what works. And that's how we're gonna get web shooters in the future, sooner than later. So yeah. If you guys like that kind of video, please make sure to leave a like, share the video with all your other web shooter friends. If anybody wants to make some web shooters, boom, just look at this video. I got like 10 of them just for you to choose from. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. If you like these kind of videos, these top 10 lists or whatever, just let me know. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. I'm trying to hit like 10,000 views for this month so I can get my YouTube check. Kind of need that like really bad. So I kind of really bought a bunch of things to kind of like assume I'm gonna get that. So here's hoping. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy and try something good.